When I checked into my Airbnb, the owner gave me a horrifying list of rules. When I arrived at the Airbnb, the cabin was even better than I'd hoped. It was charming, with rustic wooden beams, a stone fireplace, and large windows that overlooked the dense forest. The owner, a middle-aged man named Mr. Thompson, greeted me at the door. He was friendly enough, though there was something a bit off about him that I couldn't quite put my finger on. But I chalked it up to nerves. Maybe he wasn't used to renting out the place. After giving me a brief tour of the cabin, Mr. Thompson handed me a piece of paper. "Just a few house rules," he said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Nothing too strict, but it's important that you follow them. For your own safety." I glanced at the paper, expecting the usual stuff. Don't smoke inside, no loud music, check out by 10 a.m., that sort of thing. But as I started reading, my stomach tightened with unease. 1. Do not open the windows after sunset, no matter how hot it gets inside. 2. If you hear footsteps on the roof at night, do not investigate. Stay in your room and keep the door locked. 3. Avoid looking at the lake after dark. If you see something moving in the water, do not approach. 4. If you hear someone calling your name from the forest, do not respond. No one should know you're here. 5. The phone in the living room may ring at exactly 3:33 a.m. If it does, do not answer it. 6. If you hear crying from the basement, do not go down there. The basement is off limits. 7. There is an old mirror in the hallway. Cover it with a sheet before you go to bed. If you wake up and the sheet has fallen, do not look at your reflection. I looked up at Mr. Thompson, half expecting him to burst out laughing, tell me it was all a joke. But his expression was serious, his eyes fixed on mine as if he was trying to gauge my reaction. "Is this some kind of prank?" I asked, my voice wavering slightly. His smile faded. "No prank. Just follow the rules, and you'll be fine." Before I could ask any more questions, he turned and walked out the door, leaving me standing there, clutching the list of rules with a growing sense of dread. For a moment, I considered getting back in my car and driving straight home, but I shook off the feeling, convincing myself that I was being silly. Maybe the rules were just some quirky tradition, a way to spook guests in a place that was already a bit eerie. Besides, I'd driven several hours to get here, and the idea of turning back now seemed ridiculous. The first night was uneventful. I followed the rules, partly out of curiosity and partly because, deep down, I didn't want to take any chances. I covered the mirror in the hallway, made sure all the windows were closed before sunset, and stayed far away from the lake after dark. I even ignored the strange creaking sounds that echoed through the cabin late at night, telling myself it was just the old wood settling. But the second night, that's when things started to go wrong. It was just past midnight when I heard the footsteps. They were slow and deliberate, moving across the roof above my bedroom. My heart pounded in my chest as I remembered the second rule: stay in your room and keep the door locked. I lay there, frozen, listening as the footsteps moved closer, then paused right above me. I held my breath, waiting for them to continue, but they didn't. The silence was suffocating, and I had to resist the urge to jump out of bed and check what was out there. Then, as suddenly as they had started, the footsteps resumed, this time moving away, fading into the distance until there was nothing but silence once more. I tried to convince myself it was just an animal, maybe a raccoon or a stray cat. But the footsteps had sounded too heavy for that, too deliberate. I barely slept after that, my mind racing with fear and anticipation, wondering what else might happen. The phone rang at 3:33 a.m. The shrill sound jolted me awake, and for a moment I just stared at it, my heart racing. The rule had been clear: do not answer it. But the longer it rang, the harder it became to resist the urge. What if it was an emergency? What if someone was trying to warn me about something? But something inside me, a deep primal instinct, told me not to pick it up. I grabbed a pillow, pressing it over my ears until the ringing finally stopped.